All right, a very good morning to you. A brand new week it is. It is the 8th of the month of April and the year is 2024. From wherever you are watching us from, this is the Kokoliriko live show and we are already in. That is to begin off your new day and a new week, which is also really going to be very, very much important. And that is for the believers who are Muslims, because surely this is also the week where we are going to be witnessing the Eid celebrations. And now I can see a lot of mimickings going on and also really a lot of intimidations here and there, more so among the believers who are really also saying if you didn't invite them for Easter, then there's no way they're going to be inviting you for Eid. But I'm saying that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't. It is a day for us to all to celebrate. Maybe irrespective of, maybe if you're not invited for Easter, maybe Christmas also is coming towards the end of the year. We can still also really maybe invite the other towards the end of the year, and that is one reason also I must say we need to also really make sure that we are relating well, and we need to stay together such that we are also really not left out there in terms of also really maybe not inviting our friends, and these are maybe the friends, the relatives, and every other person out there that maybe we need to do so. That is in terms of also really inviting them for the Eid celebrations, and really that is what we are here to do so. And this is where also really at the end of the day you are going to be letting you know of what happened maybe in the due course of the weekend, because surely as we return from the weekend a lot of things maybe transpired in your know or maybe in your absence. That is still over the weekend, but really the biggest of course was at the graduation ceremony of Moni University, where a total of 143 students graduated over the weekend. And really I must say it was a colorful event which we did see a number of graduates, really 143, and also really so many people turning up for this event. But really I must say 143 is a small number, where we did witness also really a number of also concerns are being raised here and there over the same issue. And really that means as people of this sub-region, there's more that we need to do. First of all, in terms of embracing the school and accepting the school, that it is really here for us. And that is one reason also maybe we could at the end of the day see the numbers of maybe graduates from this university increasing, because if you really look at 143, this is a small number to really to graduate from a university where we did witness diplomas and graduates, maybe the diplomas and degrees also really being also really conferred there. But I must say this is something also really we did see happening. That was on Saturday, and really it was also really live on Western television. For those who really caught up, you must have also really understood what exactly we are talking about, because we could see how the graduates, we are busy celebrating and also really jubilating here and there upon also really finishing that line there, because really joining university at times is very, very easy, but really to finish is where maybe the problem is. To begin is usually easy, but really to finish is where the challenge is. That is where you're seeing a number of also students over the years maybe also dropping from these universities. But I must say we want to congratulate those who maybe also really made it to the finishing line, and then also really I want to congratulate those parents for ensuring that they support their children till the end. And really sometimes also really it becomes difficult on the way, where the journey also really becomes very much tedious, where the parents and children cannot continue anymore, and they find it very, very difficult to also really continue with education there. And that is one reason also at times we are seeing our girls getting married early and really dropping out of school. But really for those girls whom we did see chanting, we tell them that really the world outside is maybe not also really as it is being feared. You must also really come out, tighten your belts, and come out and really also start maybe attacking the world. Definitely, if you attack it very well, you may also really overpower it. But really, if at all you are going to be sitting down, you may also really not also really maybe attack the world very, very well there. Because if you really look at what the State Minister of Education speech, you remind that you really reflect that you really realize that she actually did talk to the students to also really create their own opportunities and let them be ready for the world outside school. And really that means that the opportunities outside are very minimal, and that means that when also really they come out, they need also really not to sit down and think the world is as they shouldn't be, because really sometimes also really upon graduations people come out and thinking that they are going to really just make it very, very easy there. And this is where people are not also really encouraged to just sit down and wait for white-collar jobs, definitely, because surely they're not enough. And one thing I can tell you at the graduates is that once you are coming out to the world, start off with anything, because really, if you really look at this Minister of Education's speech, you will realize that that actually she did talk about also these graduates creating their own opportunities, maybe in businesses and other fields, and really that would also really at the end of the day help empower them maybe economically, because really after graduation, definitely there's nothing that parents expect out of you, but rather to also really give back to them in terms of also really maybe getting the jobs, also really creating the opportunities, which is the absolute goal at the end of the day, which is goal is at the end of the day to also really have something in your pockets. Definitely also that is something that we also really can echo to the graduates. And then the Minister of Education, that is in charge of primary education, Honorable Joyce Kaduku Moriko, also really expressed dismay about these numbers graduating from the university compared to the resources government is injecting in this university. You realize that the university has a total of that is 1,000 plus staff, but really to graduate only 143 students is really very, very much alarming. And that means that the parents out here, maybe in Western Sub-region, first of all, we need to embrace the university. Let's make sure that we take our children to this university such that the numbers maybe that could be graduating at the end of the day also really increases, because you realize that these students who are graduating, some had certificates with others carrying on diplomas. Meanwhile, also we did have others graduating also really that is from also really other disciplines, maybe degrees. But one person who actually made it as the overall best student is our colleague working with one of the radio stations, that is Voice of Life, Mugisha. We also want to congratulate you upon that milestone. That is in terms of also really achieving, in terms of also really getting one of the best grades and making the journalism people very proud. And as journalists, we must say we are very, very much proud of you. And really, I also want to encourage the rest that we need to also really go back to school and get more papers, such that also really we maybe admire what Mugisha also really did do there. And that is one thing at the end of the day that is going to make us very proud as people of this sub-region. And really, that is also really one thing that we cannot exclude out, as really we need to also congratulate our colleague, that's Mugisha Williams, the station manager of Voice of Life, who is actually one of us as the journalists. And really, we did see him graduating there. And really, we say congratulations to you, gentlemen. And we expect more. And really, we shouldn't stop there. And really, we are waiting for the masters and PhDs. And that is also something that we also really need to do as journalists. So at the end of the day, we are also really also praised, because after really raising that bar very high, I must say we are proud as journalists. And really, at the end of the day, we also really need to ensure that we are not people maybe who are said not to have been educated. At the end of the day, we want to all be called educated, and that would also really at the end of the day to me make us very, very much proud in there. And moving away from that, now let's come into Arua City still, where we did have a Forum for Democratic Change annual iftar dinner taking place. That is at Arua Primary School playgrounds, and this is actually an annual event that has been taking place, that is at the party headquarters in Najalankum. But this year the party decided to move the celebrations to the grassroots, where the supporters of the party are. And actually the chance fell in, that is to Arua City to host. And this is something I must say did go on very, very well. There are amidst threats from rains, and really, but really I must say at the end of the day, we did see colorful celebrations going on there. That is at Arua Primary School playgrounds, where a number of party dignitaries also really graced this event, not forgetting the supporters from different parts across West Nile also really camping. That's at the school's playground, also really to celebrate with their colleagues. And that is something I must say also really did go on colorfully. And really, I must say also, it was proud. It was also really nice to see the people interacting with their leaders, because some of the leaders for quite some time had been off the scene and really could also really hardly tell where they are and really what they're going through. And I must say, this is nice, because for the party to also really restructure ahead of 2026, definitely they need to also really extend maybe the search for grassroots support right from the lower levels. And what they did is actually what, to me, I believe at the end of the day is going to help the party restructure ahead of 2026, and that is something also that is going to make the party very maybe stronger ahead of the 2026 general elections. And that is something also I must say did go on yesterday, and we are able to also really witness that yesterday, but this was on Friday, and really we are able to also really see that event going on colorfully there. And really want to congratulate the party also upon that milestone of extending the support up the grassroots level. And the national leadership of the FDC was actually represented by, that is one of the leaders who was called Walid, who represented the party president, Patrick Amura Toboy, and really he is in charge of publication, and that is something also that we did see him also really doing very, very much well in there. And he actually came out to say the purpose for this celebration is actually to also really that is relate with the Muslim community during the fasting month of Ramadan, and so that they also really give back to the Muslim community, because during this time they need to also really understand, also really stand together in solidarity with the Muslim community, because fasting is not an easy thing, because some people may also really find very, very much difficult. You can just imagine staying for the whole day without eating, and if you're not used to it, my brother, my sister, I must tell you, it is going to be very, very much difficult for you to actually contain the pressure, and the day you may also develop ulcers, you may develop those fake ulcers, because usually sometimes these are tendencies people also tend to have during this month here. They come up with complaints that I have ulcers, I cannot manage, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. That is simply because you are not really used to it, and you cannot also do it, and that is one reason. That is why also the Forum for Democratic Change Party wants to stand with its supporters right from the grassroots level during this period of the Ramadan period, and that is why this day was actually organized, and I must say it did go on colorfully, and really we did witness a number of activities also really going on there. That is at our primary school playgrounds, where we did see people sitting actually two, and I must say the people enjoyed, and really this was a sumptuous dinner which really did go on very, very well there, and we expect more of that, and that shouldn't also remain with the Forum for Democratic Change Party. We want to see the UPCs of this world, we want to see DP, we want to see NRM having the same. Really, that would also be quite good. Maybe also really making the Muslims also really relate well with their parties. Also, that is something also at the end of the day, which would also really make the parties very, very much stronger in there. And I believe that is also really something that really needs to be also going on. And at the end of the day, we want to see also really that going on. And really, my brother who is watching us right now, maybe from wherever you are watching us from, we want to say it was actually colorful to see that going on in there. And I believe at the end of the day, that is also something that would also make us, maybe the Forum for, maybe people who are subscribing the ideology of the Forum for Democratic Change, because they know that FDC at least also enjoyed also its privileges. That is from West Nile sub-region, where we did see the party also really bring out one of the some of the top leaders from this party, maybe this to represent at the country level, the likes of maybe Kasano Wadri, who were at one time with the party. We do have the Fungaros, we do have Christine Abias of this world, who are actually really very, very much instrumental there in shaping affairs of this country, and all this we actually released from the region, from really the party. And today, if you are to talk about FDC in West Nile, you will also really mention very few main names. For instance, the likes of Oguzuli Dennis of Maracha County, and really these are the people the party has also really released. And in the last elections, we did see the party doing very, very well in terms of also bringing more members from this sub-region. But I believe, if at all that goes on very well, we may also really see the party bouncing back in 2026 to be the leading, maybe also the once vibrant political party as it was in this region, also in terms of also bringing more leaders, bringing more councillors, bringing more other dignitaries. That would also really be very, very good. And I believe going back to the grassroots level is the way to go, if at all the party is to enjoy the privilege maybe it once had from the region, maybe in terms of also really being, that is the top most opposition political group that is in West Nile sub-region. And I believe that is the way to go. If at all they are organizing that, then definitely that is also really something that we could also really see the party enjoying, that is once again from the sub-region, because really the party one time had those privileges, and definitely if at all the party is maybe to re-enjoy the privilege, definitely going back to the grassroots level, for instance through the iftar dinner and maybe other functions, is the way to go. And I believe that at the end of the day is going to make the party very strong, and maybe stronger, because in the last maybe concluded 2021 general elections, we did see the position of being the most opposition political group going to NUP. And today we're also witnessing NUP also really having a number of challenges. And also really we are being told the party also really is also really, the more so Dr. Kano Kiza Besje is also really carrying out maybe also maybe consultations, that is to form a new political party. But I don't know where this is going to put the Forum for Democratic Change Party at. And this is something also we did see also really happening over the weekend. But I must say, quite ironic, he did say, he also did come out clearly that he's not going to also aspire in 2026 after just a few days of telling us that he's back. That is from political holiday. But really these are two maybe sentences. I don't know what you as the viewer thinks about, because a few days ago we did see Kano Kiza Besje, one of the instrumental founders of Forum for Democratic Change, who who is actually at this time carrying out consultations, that is to form a political party in the areas of Western Uganda, where he did go to Kabale and the other surrounding areas, and also to consult with the party leaders in there to form a new political party. But I must say also, a few days ago, he did come out clearly to say that FDC is going to form a new political party. They are doing carrying out consultations. He's back, that is from political holiday. But a few hours from what he said, he also did say he's not going to aspire in 2026. Where do you really think this will be able to put the party at ahead of 2026? That is also really something I want to ask you as the viewer to also really share your opinion with us, and maybe what you think definitely you also really make. That is also really ahead of what is happening, that is in the Forum for Democratic Change party camp. That is also really something that you could be able to also really share your view with us as the viewer out there. And now moving away from that, now let's head into Kampala, where Kasita calls off traders' planned city strike that was supposed to take place today. And really that means that we are not going to be witnessing the strikes, because these strikes also really come with their challenges. And really this body that brings that is the transporters together in Kampala, once they really do their strikes, it becomes very, very much difficult for travelers to also really travel here and there, where it becomes very much difficult for them also really to also ensure that they also really engage maybe with their loved ones, because traveling becomes very, very much difficult, more so during these people's traveling. And the Kampala City Traders Association, that is Kasita, has called off planned traders demonstrations that were allegedly, that was also really to take that place on Monday, April, that is of 8th of 2024. And this is something also we did see happening yesterday. And according to Thaddeus Musoke Nagenda, the Kasita chairperson, also already asked all traders operating Kampala allowed to also open up their businesses and attend to their clients. And really today, if you realize that this will do their strikes, definitely the business district, maybe also the business center of Kampala becomes very, very much maybe also paralyzed, where those who may also really want to move in there, because usually this is a busy place. And really these business people, if they are told they're also really supposed to do their strikes, it becomes very, very much difficult now for also really maybe the traders and also really those who may also really want to access their services to also really go on to also really access maybe what they want to buy. And once the trade is destabilized within the city center, I must say prices also really tend to shoot up very high. And really that is also really something that is not very, very well maybe for those who may also want to move in the area, to also really maybe see how at the end of the day that is also really going to affect them. And he asked traders not to be intimidated by those who are masquerading as leaders of the association and mobilizing traders to stage a strike, because once the strike is staged, definitely it also really first of all affects the traders, and then secondly the consumers, who are really at the verge of suffering in terms of also really maybe higher prices, in terms of also really being also destroyed here and there. Because today, if you move to Kampala, you realize that so many people also really move in that business area there. For instance, we have travelers, also really business people coming all the way from Democratic Republic of Congo. We do have others also really moving as far as Nairobi and Southern Sudan, also to move into Kampala there to purchase their goods. And really once they come and really also really face this challenge of the maybe the planned strike, that becomes very, very much difficult. And he added the association has informed the police to also provide tight security to traders who wish to open up their business and shops to serve the customers, and so as to protect them against any possible also maybe threats. That is also something that we would also wish to see, if at all to want to see it going on. And the reasons for this planned strike is also best known to them, and they have not also come out to maybe open up on the same matter. And I believe that is also something that we need to also talk about, because at the end of the day, that is also something that is going to very, very much impact. That is also really on those people who may also really find it very, very much difficult, because really at the end of the day, if at all that is also something that we did not talk about, then definitely that is also really something that will also really not be quite good. And I believe that is already something we need to ensure that we talk about, because at the end of the day, if we continue to also really not talk about these traders, because some of the traders also really could be moving from Western sub-region, more so those who are doing their businesses in there, but they get their products from Kampala, because up to now, most of the, maybe the regional cities do not have factories, but most of the factories are actually located in the central area of Kampala. And this is where also maybe the planned strike could be going on. And I believe if at all we not also talk about this, then definitely maybe the trader could also really find it very, very difficult. But I must say now the strike has been called off for those who had not really traveled and really you are still home, maybe fearing. Today you could also really move into Kampala there and now purchase your goods. And this is after the strike has been called off, and I must say that is really quite good also to witness in there. And at the end of the day, that is also something that we are going to be witnessing in happening in there, which would also be quite good. And really that is also that what brings us to the end of that discussion. But really you as the viewer also, you can share your opinions and your views on what you think maybe how this this strike has been called off, how it will impact that is on the traders maybe from the other areas. For instance, those coming from Soga sub-region who are moving to central Uganda, those from northern Uganda who are also really moving in there, not forgetting those from west who also really purchase their goods still from, that is Kampala, which is in the central Uganda. I don't know what you think about that. That is also really something that I can also really maybe pick up your opinions and maybe your comments on. At the end of the day, I will also really share that with the rest of the viewers. You can drop your comments there. For those of you watching us and streaming us online, for instance on YouTube, drop your comments there on the comment section of YouTube. I will be in place also to reflect it with the rest of the viewers. For those of you catching us via Facebook, you should also really as well drop your comments in there, and I will be able to also really read and share with the rest of the viewers. And that is how we intend to lighten the region, because this is where we also really discuss issues not only from West Nile sub-region, but we go as far as internationally and also really nationally. We do not exclude maybe what is happening at the country level. And really that is why it is very much important for you also really as the viewer to also really share your comments with us and what you think really we need to do, that is in terms of also really maybe changing the narrative and how best we can shape the society is also really why we need your comment. That is also really quite simple, and for you to do that also really to share your comments and opinions, the comment section maybe where you are catching us from through is definitely where you should be able to drop your comments. For those of you catching us on Facebook, the comment section for Facebook is wide open. You can drop the comments there. And for those of you also really watching us via YouTube, it is also really not locked, but really quite open. Also really, you need to drop your comments in there, and I will be able to also really read them after the commercial break. And really, we are still continuing with the show, and really where we did witness a number of issues. And I know the sports supporters also really did witness maybe scary results going in there right from the region and up that's the national level. I will also really be giving you that later on in the show. And that is one thing I also really want to remind you of as we continue with the show. This is still a Kokoliriko live on West Nile Television. And now let's move to Chotera, where so many things are happening, where arrests are being made by IGG here and there. And really, if I'm to also let you know maybe what is happening after IGG arrests two of the district officials really of defrauding, that is shillings, 638 million really, Ugandan shillings. That is quite a number. Maybe that's quite a huge amount. And really somebody out there may be not understanding what 638 million is. And I must say that can build a hospital block. And that is also really one thing that really we could also really see it constructing maybe a 2-star latrine. That is maybe for the primary schools. And really that is money which would also really help improve on service. And we are talking about service delivery. And that is also really something that we need to talk about. And the Deputy Inspector General of Government, Anne Twino Muhirwe, has also really ordered the arrest of 2 officials from the districts of Rakai and Chotera over allegedly involving in payroll fraud, which caused a financial loss that is amounting to shillings 638 million. And really this is also really something we did see happening, going on there. And the implicated officials include Rakai District Principal Human Resource Officer, that is one Rose Yahweh, and her Chotera District counterpart, that is Aaron Kahinga, who were actually picked by IGG in there. And this is after defrauding, that is that amount of 638 million, that is in 2 instances. And the two allegedly committed the fraud when both are still working in Rakai District Local Government, really before Chotera became an autonomous administrative unit there. And we really realized that before the creation of these administrative units, so many things were really happening on. And these are actually cases that don't die, because after maybe you create a crime in law, usually we say the cases do not die. Even after 10 years, the court can also really still take interest in that case. And that is how maybe these 2 could be implicated, because we could say they committed the crimes when they were still under Rakai, but now Chotera is an independent district of its own. And realize that also really, we had some cases right from Arua district. Maybe also really, to also really talk about some of the cases, maybe the Dr. Deep instances where we did have some of these people not getting their monies. For instance, when Terego district was still under Arua district, because really the desk officer, who is now the late, we also pray for his soul to rest in eternal peace, is actually said to have also really committed a number of those things. But really, you realize that maybe also really with the creation of these administrative units, we did this is when we got to realize maybe some of these challenges, and really how best can we ensure that we really also protect people from these issues of the corruption that we're talking about? Because corruption continues to be a song that we continue to sing, really also really without yielding that is much intended purpose, that is in terms of bringing it down. But what can we do? As maybe the viewer, you too also can share your opinion on how best we can bring down corruption tendencies, which is still very, very much high, and really how best can we bring down the vice of corruption that is in this country? Because we continue to talk about the corruption tendencies, we continue to sing the songs that is also really in terms of also really corruption, but really we are not witnessing, we are not realizing the dream that is in terms of bringing down corruption. But really you as the viewer also really can share your opinions with us in terms of also really how best we can bring maybe the corruption tendencies, because what is happening that is in Chotera could be happening that is within our Western sub-region. It could be happening in Arua City, it could be happening in Arua District, it could be happening in Madiokoro, it could be happening in Terego, it could be happening that is Maracha, it could be happening in Nebi, it could be happening in Kapakwach, it could be happening in Moyo, it could be happening in Adjumani, it could be happening in Obongi, it could be happening elsewhere that is within West Nile sub-region. But how best can we bring down the tendencies of corruption among the leaders? And what kind of leaders should we empower? Those who are not corrupt, maybe how should we identify them before giving them jobs? Because really today, you know, that corruption continues to remain a challenge. And really, this is where we're also really witnessing it very, very much with them, or really also the governments, or really these local governments. This is where also we are witnessing corruption very, very much high, more so with those serving under government. For instance, payroll, really, which are being altered today. We could talk about ghost workers, and really this is something also which could be realizing, which we could be making maybe as a negligence. Really, it could be negligence. It could also be purposeful, really by also by these servers, maybe the servants of government jobs who really want to sort of make a lot of money in for themselves there. And Deputy IG Muhairu's arrest order targeting the pair came during an engagement meeting that was between civil servants from the two districts with officials from the office of the Ombudsman, that is at Chotera district headquarters on Saturday. And this is something that really did happen over the weekend, and really on Mondays what we do is also really give you a wrap-up of maybe what transpired over the weekend, because usually we are in here, that's from Monday to Friday, we really leave the 2 days, but really once we come back on Monday, we let you know what happened over the weekend. That's right from Friday and also Sunday, because we have realized that a lot of things also do continue over the weekend. But really, if we not let you know maybe what happens, then definitely it becomes really quite unfortunate for you to also really be, as the viewer, not to understand maybe what happened, because that is already going to be maybe unfair on our side not to let you know of what could have transpired. And during Sunday's meeting, Muhaire expressed that his concern over the conduct of Rakai District Resident District Commissioner Sarah Chiemba, who she accused of arrogance and refusing to attend the gathering. And really that is only something we also really expect now the RDC to come and explain why she missed out the meeting, because this is a very, very much important meeting where also really RDCs are to play a great role, that is in terms of also really fighting corruption, because corruption entirely also to fight it lies in our hands all. And as the RDCs who are said to be the head of security, and if at all you start exempting yourself from these meetings, really which are also intended to bring down corruption, then definitely we also start raising doubts in you, and we may also really start raising questions about maybe your audibility, maybe also really about your personality. For instance, we could be saying maybe also it is you that is fueling corruption in the districts there, because as RDCs, as RCCs, I must say you play a great role. You play a vital role in terms of bringing that is corruption. First of all, you are the head of security and appointed as maybe the presidents of the districts, and really you are really also said to be the representatives of the president, and really where we are seeing you exempting yourselves, that is from the tendencies of also intended at maybe missing out the meetings that are intended to also bring down corruption, then definitely I must say we are going to be raising doubts in you. And really that is where I want to caution the RDCs, the RCCs, also to spearhead the lead that is in terms of fighting against corruption, because you must champion fight against corruption, because surely you are the presidents of the districts, you are the presidents of the cities, and you are the head of security as well. And definitely, if at all you as the RCC is leading the fight against corruption, I must say you are going to be the champions, you are going to be the winners, and we are going to overpower corruption, because these leaders, you know them very well, you know what they do, and you get the concerns, and really the public also sometimes also tells you the concerns. And really, if you remember in 2022, still within, that is Chotera, Kayinga was interdicted by the Chotera district, that is chief administrative officer, over alleged irregular staff recruitment and extortion, and that is also really something that we did see happening in there. And out of 10 successful parish chiefs, at least 6 were reportedly found with fake documents, with the cow called for verification of their documents. And Jimmy Semanda, who was one of the applicants who didn't make it, accused Kayinga of soliciting bribe from him in exchange for a parish chief job. And really that is also something we must say is quite unfortunate. And amid these allegations, Kayinga was interdicted but continued to report to office until the office of the IG intervened on that matter. And really that is something also we must say needs not to happen, because as the chief administrative officers, we do understand that you play a great role and we do very, very much respect that. But really where it becomes also really issues of corruption, because today you realize that the people to get jobs within these districts, it's really a thug of really a hurdle, and really I must say a very, very much difficult thing really to also really get yourselves on these jobs for the districts. Today you realize that also really we are being told about issues of people who are also really safeguarding these jobs for their relatives and really for their own people, where we also really seeing some of these local governments still having vacant positions, which are also said really to be spearheaded, maybe also really spared for people who are still within the universities, for people who are still maybe somewhere studying, and really before solely them getting the qualifications, they have to spearhead the jobs, and that is why we're witnessing also tendencies of some of the jobs being very vacant. And today the local governments also really have vacant positions, and really we at which are never felt. And really I believe this could also really be a format of corruption, and which we are talking about, because also really for you to spare a job for somebody who is not there, and yet there are people who have qualified. And that is where also really we are going to be witnessing tendencies of also really not giving the jobs to the right people. And I believe there's more that needs to be done, and you as the viewer also really needs to fight that is corruption. If at all you realize that these local governments are having this, maybe these jobs spared, yet there are people who have the qualifications, who have applied, definitely you need to also really ensure that you rush out to IGG. IGG has the offices. These are regional levels. We have regional offices. You need to also really raise your concern there so that they can also really maybe do investigations into this matter. And at the end of the day, we will also really see the fight against corruption being a success in there. And really, that is one thing I also really want to caution people who are holding these offices to really ensure there's transparency. Really, we need to ensure that there's transparency. Let's ensure that we are honest as we have shown, because once you are taking these over these offices, the oaths you take are usually for the good of the society. You promise to serve, that is diligently, but really where we are also really seeing you asking for bribes, really I must say that becomes quite unfortunate. And really for those who may also wish to apply for these jobs are going to lose trust, because for instance now maybe who is also really as the viewer, maybe who is just like you as the viewer out there, we are losing the trust. That's in terms of applying for these jobs, because we know however much we apply for them, we may also not be able to be shortlisted maybe for interviews, because really that is also really how we have seen it happening. And that is also really how people have a negative perception about these jobs. And people also really talking about bribes. People need to buy. The issues of the buying jobs is really a great concern. But really, I mean, this maybe people whose qualifications are there. Why don't we give the jobs to these rightful people who are really going to serve with honesty, maybe with integrity, and first of all with professionalism, first because surely they have achieved maybe what takes. Because they realize that these universities are producing so many graduates each and every year. But where we find tendencies of it also really being told that we did not also really get the rightful people, because definitely it becomes a challenge. And recently I was in Terego district where we did also really witness a number of these challenges. And last year where we did also really go for a community baraza that was organized by OPM at Otumbari SS. This was also really a challenge that was actually really very much raised following the district's challenge, where we did also really see the district also really being without a district health officer. And this is after the district authorities said they failed to get the rightful people, amid this also really posing out the several adverts to really call upon people to take over these jobs. But really that is also really something I must say was quite unfortunate, and really that is also really something we did see happening in there. And I believe just like also Terego, so many districts could be maybe having gaps, maybe that is in terms of staffs, because they could not recruit. And really this could also really be the challenges, and really I believe that is also really something that could be going elsewhere, maybe outside West Nile, maybe in Central, maybe in Western Uganda, maybe in the entire North. And really I believe that is something that we need to also really investigate, and we need to also talk about it, because if we do not talk about it, then definitely that would also really be quite unfortunate, because we continue to witness these tendencies. And I believe that is also really something that we need to ensure that we do talk about. And we need to ensure that these vacant positions are filled, because at the end of the day, that is hampering, that is service delivery, because you can just imagine the district without the DHO, and how is the health of the people in that district there, and where is actually, maybe where will they report to in terms of these diseases, because sometimes we need to report the DHOs. It is the DHOs who are to extend our voices, and really for people to also really be without these staffing gaps, then definitely that is something that we need to ensure that we talk about, because really that is something we want to see happening right maybe in the entire districts of West Nile sub-region, really to also ensure that these vacant positions are filled, maybe with the rightful people. The tendencies of maybe taking bribes need to be avoided, because today you realize that these issues of the bribes are affecting service delivery. In terms of awarding contracts, we are raising the same challenge. In terms of these jobs, we are raising the same challenges. People are complaining, people are also really echoing out their voices, saying that they cannot get the monies, they cannot get the jobs. But what can we do as the members of the public, and really also you as the viewer can share your views? Maybe, is it happening? You can drop your comments in there, and really, is it happening within the local governments, and how is corruption portrayed? Because at least these two who are arrested, that's from Chotera, we are actually accused of taking bribes also for people to get the jobs, for instance, as parish chiefs, as most of those who got the jobs are said. It is an allegation that we are saying that they didn't have the rightful qualifications, and really these were also maybe got the jobs after upon also really getting the bribes, also really giving out the bribes, because this is a challenge that we are really also being told, and this is the common talk among the members of the public, more so when the government announces a job. Issues of bribes are usually raised very, very much paramount there. But how can we avoid that? That is also something I need to take your view as the viewer, or maybe of the Kokoliriko live show, as maybe you can also really share your opinions on what we need to do, because sometimes during these recruitments, for instance, in the public service, we are raising a number of doubts. People are not applying. Sometimes people lose trust. Others, upon applying maybe for several instances and not being selected for these jobs, also lose trust, because they cannot also really maybe also really afford the money there, which is also really required as a bribe. And these are quite a number of amounts. These are huge amounts that are really also being taken from the members of the public, and that is extortion. And really, I must say, we need to also really ensure that we end this vice of corruption, because that is corruption. Bribe is also really not allowed within the law. And really, once we get you, we are going to also really ensure that we blackmail you as the media. Our number one mandate is also really the watchdog role. And really, if we see it happening, you need to also ensure that you inform us, the media personalities, so that we can also really investigate such issues. And as the watchdog, our role remains, that is to hold the people in these offices accountable. And I am not going to be doing that alone, but rather it is me and you. We need to work together in terms of also really ending that vice of corruption. And really, that is what brings us to the end of our first hour. This is the Kokoliriko live show on West Nile Television, the Monday edition, and the first one for this week. And really, I want to take this opportunity, maybe you who is joining, to welcome you who is joining us at this hour onto the show. And definitely, this is the show that is going to be having an impact on you. And really, on Mondays, what we do is give you maybe updates that is from that is right from Friday and Saturday, not forgetting Sunday, plus Monday. So really, as we hear, so many things could be happening. And yesterday, we did witness an accident where one of maybe the staff, and really also one of the doctors that is from also the Koboko district, did lose his life there. And this incident happened, that is in the night, that was around Manibe. But really, it is quite sad. We pray for his soul to rest in eternal peace. Really, where we did see at least 2 people losing their lives. And really, we pray for those souls, maybe to rest in eternal peace. For those who got injured, we also really pray for quick recovery for you. We pray also God needs to heal you quickly. And really, that is what brings us to the end of the first hour. And when we return back, we are going to be letting you know more of the discussions on the show. Stay tuned as we bounce back shortly from now. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break, and this is still the Kokoliriko live show, and this is also the show where you are going to be having an impact, and this is in terms of letting you know of what is happening in the world of current affairs. And really, as we come back from that's the short commercial break, I want to thank whoever is watching us right now, and also those who have shared your comments with us. And really, maybe if I can be able to go through what is on YouTube, I do have some of the comments in there, but really as the viewer, you can also really drop your comments in there, and still I will be in place also really to read that with the rest of viewers. And this is the Kokoliriko live show, and I must say you're most welcome. It is a great pleasure having you on board for the Monday edition, and really this is the first one for this week, and really we are going to be doing this with you up the hour. That's 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. we shall be having the news bulletin in Lubarati, that is with my brother Mukulia Lawrence, who will also really be coming through to also really let you know of what is happening in the world of Eolaza. But for now, let's first continue doing the show, and this is something also really we need to do together up the hour. That's 9 a.m. and the day we are going to also really share a lot of issues. And remember, as we bounce back from the weekend, a number of issues also really did go on, that is over the weekend, right in the world of sports, where we did also really witness one of the games that is in a little sub-region that was between Pakwachi Young Stars and the Black Angels, also really ending prematurely there. And on the Poraka Football Club also did win their game. I will be able to give you more details of what is happening in the world of sports later on, but really let's first continue with what is happening in the other aspects maybe of life, because usually on the show we do not also limit our discussion. What we discuss here basically touches all aspects, because usually we say work without play makes Jack a dull boy, and that is why we always intend to end with what is happening in the world of sports. And remember, a number of issues also really are happening in the world of sports, and today the regional games for secondary schools also really will be going on, and really that is something also really you will be able to also really let you know maybe how the groupings have been done. That is also really something I will be able to sort of let you know of later on. But let's first continue with the show. And really, I did also talk to you about an accident that happened yesterday. And really, this is quite sad, where we did lose one of the in charges of the health facilities in there. And really, that is also really something I must say is very, very much sad. And really, the fatal accident happened, that is along Arua Koboko Road. That was at around Manibe, which left 2 people dead and a number injured in there. And really, this is something also really we did see happening. And one of the confirmed persons who was said to be dead is actually Jamal Abdul Malik, one of an employee who is an employee with the Koboko District Local Government, and really who has been serving as also the in charge of Finru Health Center 3, that's in Ludara Sub-County in Koboko District. And really this is something also we did see happening in there. And the cause of the accident by press time yesterday wasn't established, but really this is something also we say is very, very much sad, because today we're going to talk about accidents, and each and every day that we are talking about accidents really countrywide. What what needs to be done? Definitely, that's also something that we need to also ensure that we talk about, because at least accidents are claiming lives each and every day. And recently, you really side with me that when police released their crime report, that is for annual year, that was for the year that ended. Today you realize that a lot of accident cases were also registered within the same period, and really today we also talking about accidents. And what is the reflection going to be like? That is towards the end of the year, and that is also something we need to talk about, because the accidents continue to claim so many lives. But what do we need to do? You definitely, I must say, you as the viewer, you as the member of the public, you have a great role. That is in terms of also really bringing down the issues of the accidents. First of all, we need to ensure that we desist from tendencies of overspeeding, which is also really said to be one of the causes of the accidents. And really, secondly, also we need to desist from drink driving, and then definitely also we need to ensure that we travel that is within the daytime, because usually at night, this is where also we witness accidents. And this one happened at night. That was along Manibe here, and just a few meters, that is from Arua City Center. And really that is something also we did see happening. But really we continue to, for the souls of those departed souls also to rest in eternal peace. And really that is also really something that we also really want to mourn with the loved ones, because these are going to leave gaps. These are people who have been also really sparing maybe the affairs of the families, but really they have gone. And that is also really something that we also really need to ensure that we talk about. And really that is also really something at the end of the day we also really need to also ensure that we talk about. And moving on from that, then there's something that really also did maybe also really pick the interest in, which has also really raised questions in the member of the public, because this is from the Speaker, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Taebwa, who actually said he used to sell pancakes, and now he is the Deputy Speaker. He is a member of Parliament. What does this mean to you? Maybe as the viewer out there, that means that you too, who is going through a lot right now, you need also not to sit down on your dreams. You could also really maybe become who you want to become. Definitely, that is also something I want to also really extend maybe to you as the viewer, as somebody who is trying to give up, because they realize that a number of these youths who are engaged, that is in criminal activities, are also really said, if you interact with them, they will tell you that they are going through a lot. They are really also really suffering. But really, how is that the way to go? Is theft really the way to go? Do you think maybe theft can really also relieve you from suffering? Definitely, I must say no. And yesterday we did also really see police going out with the intelligence-led operations, where a number of youths were actually said to be arrested by yesterday. And really, I did see in my area people moving with sticks, and really that's carrying on pangas also to attack these groups where these people are usually camping in, these groups where they usually call themselves the ghettos. And really I did see also the police moving on with their white vehicle also really to move in where these people are. And really I must say that is really quite good, because we need sanity within the city center, and definitely also really through arresting these criminals we may also really see a reduction in terms of also the maybe criminality happening in Arua City, because today you realize that a number of these boys are terrorizing the city center, maybe with their also really several behaviors, for instance, also really making it the vulnerable women suffer in their hands, which is really quite unfortunate. At the end of the day, it is the women who suffer the most in terms of also these people here. And I believe that is also really something we need to talk about. At the end of the day, also, if we not talk about it, first of all, if we do not talk about it, then definitely I must say we are going to be the ones suffering the most, because it is our mothers and our sisters whose phones are being grabbed today by these errant youths who are in the society, who really think theft is the way to survive. And really they're also really raising a number of issues, and really that is also really something that we also going to be discussing very soon with the PRO of police, that is Josephine Anguchia, whom we are supposed to have today, but unfortunately today also really coincides with their Monday meeting, and that means that really she will be in here, that is tomorrow, if at all it is not ED. And then that is also something that we also really going to be discussing with her. If at all tomorrow is not ED, then definitely she will be in with us here. But if at all tomorrow will be ED, then I must say she will be here on Wednesday, and also to tell us more about the intelligence-led operations by Uganda Police, which is also really ongoing, that is countrywide, because recently we did also see people of Masaka being arrested here and there, and really now we are seeing Arua City where the criminal gangs are increasing. The numbers of the boys each and every day is on the rise. But really, what can we do to ensure that we bring down this vice? And then definitely I must say, as parents, as stakeholders, we have a great role, first of all, in sitting down with the young people and maybe understanding their challenges, and secondly, also really cautioning them against staying in these groups, because it is from the groups that they get to maybe addiction of drug abuse, which is also really one thing that is said to be giving them the courage to also really engage that is in criminality. And at the end of the day, that is also really something we are seeing them maybe also really terrorizing the city for. We really today, a number of Senke motorcycles have been used within the city center for really also really doing the operation. And I must say, on a good note, police was able to also really impound a number of them, and now we expect maybe also justice for those who are innocent, because in this operation you realize that others were also really arrested innocently, according to what we also already did hear from the members of the public as they were moving on the roads. They were just arrested, and really once you are seen as a criminal, you also really have to go and defend yourself in the courts of law, because recently we did see court also really arraigning a number of them also really to also really assess and judge them, but the operations continue to go on. And really this is something also really we want to say and needs to go on, because if you look at the areas of maybe Arrow Primary School, you look at areas around Baruku, you look at areas around San Siro, you look at areas around Kirabusel, definitely these are where we are talking about these issues of criminality being very, very much high. Not forgetting areas of San Siro, which is also really another area where we are talking about criminality being very, very much rampant. And definitely what can we do as maybe also really the members of the public? You also can share your views and share your opinions on what you think needs to be done, maybe to also really bring down this vice of criminality that is on the rise. At the end of the day, that is really something that we are going to maybe help society with, because we want to see a transformed society. We want to see sanity brought to our city, and really I believe, and also really with the trust I have in the leaders, we are going to be attaining that also really in terms of also really bring down the vice of that is criminality among the youth more so within the city center. And I believe with the also the current leadership of maybe the security and other political leaders who are to work hand in hand, we are going to be witnessing also that tendency being brought down, because criminality continues to remain a challenge. That is also really something that also that is affecting us, and also really that is something also eating up the society very, very slowly there. But also really I want to call upon now each and everybody to ensure that also really they take part in the fight against criminality, and also in the fight of bringing sanity that is within the city center, because it entirely lies in our hands all. Definitely we are not going to be leaving that in the hands of security alone, but rather we all have a role to play, that is in terms of bringing down the sanity into the city, as we want to see a city that is quite good, such that also really those whose phones continue to be snatched are avoided, and really people can move freely, and also really with their phones how they should also wish to move, because if at all you are moving with your phones very, very much scared on the way, definitely we are not going to be seeing also the freedom of expression, maybe the freedom of association and the freedom of maybe walking also really be exercised there. But really today, I want to caution you, maybe who is a visitor to our city, if at all you are coming maybe for the very first time, you need to ensure that also really also you talk about the issues of also really that tendency of also really snatching. And really Deputy Speaker's statement of selling pancakes also really did amaze now people, and really some people also really expressing mixed reactions. And the Deputy Speaker of Parliament also Thomas Waeba opened up on his humble background years by telling members of Parliament that he used to sell pancakes for income. And Mr. Waeba said he ventured into the local bakery business of pancakes, popularly known as Kabalagala, across the country from primary 4 in one of the schools in Western Uganda. And during the Thursday plenary session, Waeba surprised the August House when he introduced a special guest in the VIP chambers, his Kabalagala business mentor, that is James Babazo. And really that's also really something that we did see happening, and really I want to say we need to not to sit down, we can do more in terms of also really maybe transforming our lives. And Taeba told the session that Mr. Babazo appointed him as a salesman to his pancake business, and really that's also really something we did see happening there. And Taeba told, and this drew laughter from members of Parliament when he narrated that he was also really earning hard cash, but pancakes in return could also really share with his friends. And really that is also really something we did see happening. That Taeba joins the list of that influential leaders in the region, like Kenyan President William Ruto, also who did also really suffer a lot in his childhood maybe time. And really that also is something that should be going to you, who is also really feeling maybe neglected, who is also really feeling tired of life. Definitely you have a bright future coming ahead of you. All you need to do is just step out of your comfort zone, maybe, and also really go start maybe moving here and there. First of all, and also really we need also really not to exclude God, because without God definitely we may also not reach our heights, because definitely it is God that plans everything. Definitely that is also really something I want to also pass on to you as the viewer now. If at all you are feeling maybe depressed, and really depression is also really where we're witnessing a number of, it's also a reason where we're also really witnessing a number of our youths getting into drug abuse. But I believe if at all we do not also really talk about these issues, first of all, we need to also really believe in ourselves, and then the government also really needs to empower the youth, and that is why the youth also want to caution upon you now to take part and also interest yourselves in the several government projects that are really being implemented. For instance, the PDM, we had the youth livelihood, we have the Ntandikwa, we have the Myoga, which is already ongoing, and really we must ensure that we take part in these government projects. And for the women entrepreneurs, the GROW project is also already underway, and really we need to also really ensure that we benefit from this money. And this is, for instance, for those who are within the areas where they have been targeted, really we need to ensure that we take part in this money, so that at the end of the day we also transform our lives. And for those who have been also really eating the monies, I want to caution you that really if we have the tendencies of also thinking that this money is for politics, then definitely we may also not see a society that is transformed. We may also continue to sing the song of poverty, depression here and there, without necessarily also really drawing that is maybe answers to addressing that vice. But really I want to caution now each and everybody who is out there watching us, and really to also really maybe seeing somebody going through a lot, we need to ensure that we talk to them, because tendencies of suicide are coming from depression. And where is depression coming from? Sometimes it is because people have nothing to do, really after suffering for quite a long period of time, after really not finding what to do. That is where we are seeing them also really suffering, and really at the end of the day, that is also really something that could be resulting into depression and its negative repercussions, that how we are seeing it happening today. And really that is also really what summarizes our discussions in relation to that. And really we now head still back to Chotera. Today we are talking about Chotera really being very, very much featuring on our morning updates here. And really today, on a sad note, we are seeing a power struggle in the district, also really resulting as the district card refuses to leave office. Really, this is quite huge, and really this is quite sad. After a section of members of Muslim leaders in the district of Chotera and Rakai dismissed, that is, two top leaders in the area of alleged misconduct, abuse of office, and lack of integrity. The two leaders also already at the district card, Suleiman Luinda, his deputy, that is Sheikh Anwar Kawesi, who have served for only 2 years. And drama started when a meeting of top Muslim leaders was convened on Thursday, chaired by the district Muslim chairperson, that is Sheikh Adam Musa Chigundu, to discuss the removal of the two clerics. The move was further also supported by one of the influential local Muslim and member of also Uganda Muslim Spring Council General Assembly, that is Becca Katerega, who read out a letter aimed, that is, to pin the two leaders in there. And Kasaga alleges that Sheikh Luinda's administration has been, that is, tainted with a lot of fraud, mismanagement of Muslim property, and abuse of office. However, attempts also really to install Sheikh Ibrahim Sejingo as the acting Chotera Rakai district acting card really also really didn't go on very, very well there. And after this was actually failed. And really I believe, how can we also ensure that we resolve these issues that is between our Muslim brothers and sisters, also really very, very much paramount there, because these fights continue to go on. And in most of the districts we are registering these tendencies each and every year. We are talking about maybe why can't we use the constitution now also to bring the tendencies. At the end of the day, this is also really where we're witnessing people crossing from one section to another. And today with these fights, I believe we are not also going to see some of the people maybe joining the other factions and also joining the other groups, which to me is really not the way to go. And afterwards, we start seeing them pinpointing, saying that those are people who are bad, those are corrupt, those are people who are not good. Maybe also really, we are also really seeing these tendencies. But at the end of the day, I must say this is something that is really very, very much not wild. And we do not want to also see this going on. And really, as the viewer, how best can we ensure that we also really avoid maybe the fights between the Muslim fraternity, which to me is really not quite good. And Sheikh Luinda interrupted the ceremony, prompting police also to intervene and disperse the faithful from the mosque. And Uganda Muslim Spring Council spokesperson Muvawala Ziwa has since criticized Muslims in Chotera who wanted also to use force to change the leadership, and that is also something we are seeing happening in there. And according to Ziwa, the accusations against Sheikh Luinda and his deputy are baseless and meaning and also aimed at tainting their reputations. And Sheikh Yasin Chigozi, one of the Muslims in Chotera Town Council, called for calm and asked the top Muslim leadership of Uganda Muslim Spring Council to really reconcile the two warring camps. And that is also something we want to see maybe happening in there. And somebody who maybe also really could be asking the background, maybe what this could be also really coming from. And I want to say unity has eluded that is Muslims in Masakassa region, like elsewhere in Uganda, since Islam's advent that is in the country. That was since 1844. And in 1972, former Ugandan, that is President Idi Amin Dada, forcefully united Muslims under the umbrella body of Uganda Muslim Spring Council. However, the unity was short-lived when his government was overthrown, that is in 1979. And really, that is one thing also really I want to say. Uganda Muslim Spring Council was a sole body, and really we also really started witnessing other bodies I will not be able to mention here emerging of late. That is after 20 years, maybe after 15 years, that is when we started seeing the existence. And really this was after the death of the former president, and also already after being thrown over from power, that is in 1979, Idi Amin government was actually very, very much instrumental in terms of bringing together the Muslims of Uganda and the Uganda Muslim Spring Council. And during his reign, we didn't witness a number of challenges, but after his demise, this is where we started witnessing a number of fights among the Muslims. And I believe that is also already coming, that is as a result of power struggles which could be happening there. And Muslims reunited again in 2000, shortly after the election of the reigning Mufti, that is Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje. And a few years later, divisions emerged again after Sheikh Mubaje's leadership was accused of illegally selling Muslim property on William Street in Kampala. And currently, Sheikh Mubaje is under intense pressure, and really from the faithful to also resign over pending sale of 8 prime properties across the country. And really among them is the Uganda Muslim Spring Council headquarters in Old Kampala, and to recover the outstanding debt of that is Ugandan shillings 19 billion to businessman, that is Justus Keabahwa, after a land transaction deal went bad. And amid this conflicts, the Uganda Muslim Spring Council General Assembly last year elected that is Sheikh Simambo as the acting sheikh. Also really, it is because of the unresolved property wrangles that the country's Muslims currently have also really 3 parallel administrations, and really one headed by that is Mufti Mubaje at the Uganda Spring Council at Old Kampala. We also do have the splitter group led by that is Sheikh Semambo, who was also the former deputy that is Sheikh Mubaje, and also the Chibuli-based faction headed by that is Supreme Administration, also really that is headed by that is Sheikh Muhammad Galabuzi in there. But really all these administrations, I really believe we need to also really have that is one body also really to bring the Muslims together, so that we also really talk about these issues which are affecting the Muslim community very, very much. And really I must say is also really not good to see in there. But really, if we're told these fights continue to go on, really these are also really weakening the Islamic faith. And really I must say, as Muslims, we're not happy about this. Really the leadership also really, which we very, very much respect, also really need to also really ensure that we talk about these issues. And really at the end of the day, we want to see a transformed state. We want to see a community that is really quite well, with also really conflicts in there. And I really believe that is really it is quite achievable, and we can also do that. But that is only if at all we want to work together and really putting our differences aside. That would also really make the Muslim community work in very, very well in there. And really that was what brings us to another short commercial break, and we bounce back. We are going to be also doing a lot of discussions here and there with you as the morning viewer. And this is the Kokoliriko live show happening on West Nile Television and Zuku, and also really online where you are streaming us online, maybe on YouTube. You could be streaming us on Facebook. We do very, very much appreciate you. But for now, let's first have this commercial breather, and we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on Star Times. Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your Star Times subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. Star Times, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, a warm welcome from that's a short commercial break, and this is still the Kokoliriko live show on West Nile TV, and really we are still continuing with the show. And in a special way, I want to welcome and also really thank whoever commented on the show, and not forgetting that is Bugan TV all the way from Moyo and Obongi. Sorry, we also really do very much appreciate you, and really I do understand that Obongi and the Moyo are not very far, and really if I say Obongi or Moyo, I believe we are still also really meaning that is the people of that is within that Madisa region, and really in Obongi I do understand that the people are really still the same. Really the differences could be small here and there, and really in Obongi we are told also really people are maybe also the Gimaras, and then in Moyo it is the Madis, and still these are the same people, and really I believe the differences could be in small there. But I really want to thank Bugan for really dropping the comment in there, and really the comments are very honest. You can also see them on the screen. I really do very much also really read them very much clearly there, and you can also really see them for yourself. And as well on Facebook, I also do want to appreciate that is Richard Enrio saying that he's catching us live from Kampala City, that is in the ends of Mbuya City, one of the areas that is really for soldiers. I don't know how you are surviving. I hope you're not a soldier. Maybe also really if you are told you're a soldier, I also do very much for salute you there in the area there. And he says, good morning, presenter. Greetings to all West Nilers. Not forgetting that is my people of Vura Arivu and also Ajia in there. And really I must say recently we did also really go into, that is a road district there in the ends of Logiri, where we did witness havoc also really caused by hailstorms. And I don't know if you or maybe who is in Kampala, maybe from the district, and you actually did know about it, but really I am here to keep you informed and also let you know of what happened in there. And I must say the heavy rains also really coupled with the winds also really did do a lot of destructions there, where we did witness destruction of food crops, where we also did witness that is maybe buildings also really being deroofed, and we also did see trees being brought down as a result of the hailstorm there. And I really want to say that is already something we did witness happening that is in the area there. But really there's more that we need to do, that is in terms of also really maybe happening in there. That means that we need to ensure that we plant trees. We need to also ensure that we protect the environment, because the climate change is also coming with its own negative repercussions because people's farms were also destroyed. We did see the Matoke gardens being brought down. We did see avocados being pulled down, and yet that is the food basket. That's for West Nile Sub-region, and really Logiri is actually really known for also really bringing food. And the areas of Lazebo also really as well are known that is as the food basket. And today so many people are really entering that is into also really farming in that area there, and really which is quite good. And I must say that is the way to go. But really coupled with the issues of climate change, we may also really not realize what we also want to talk about there. And really the ED Cup is still continuing on, but really before you get to that, I will be able to sort of let you know more into that discussion. And really we are yet continuing, and before we did go for the break, we are talking about the issues related, that is to the conflicts between the Muslims, also really that is in Chotera, and I believe this is happening elsewhere, and really that is also really something I must say is quite unfortunate, and really that's something also really which did go on in the areas there. And now there's more that we need to do. And now moving away from that is the West Nile sub-region, that's also Uganda, that let's now head into Qatar, where the Ugandans living in Qatar are asking for PDM money. What do you think about the viewer? Because most of the times today we want to leave the country and go look for greener pastures, but really where we also already seeing people who had gone to look for greener pastures and now asking for the same money that is meant for the vulnerable poor, then this becomes really quite unfortunate, and really it is quite ironic, I must say, because at the end of the day we are thinking that these people who are living abroad are okay, but really once they start asking for the money, which even most of the vulnerable here did not get, and really as the others are still waiting to get the money, and really we are seeing those living abroad are asking for the money. What does this make, or what do you make about this? And really I must say this is quite unfortunate, and the Ugandan community in Qatar has asked the government to extend them the services like such as issuance of passports, national IDs, and have their share of the parish development model funds. And really this is something also we did see happening to me, which is quite ironic, because today you realize a number of Ugandan population, which is actually said to be more than 20,000, are living in Qatar there, but really working as also really workers, as migrant workers. And really once they also start asking for money that is for the vulnerable poor, really, which I didn't get also really as somebody who is here in Uganda, and really we are seeing somebody who is abroad who actually boarded the plane asking for the same money. Should we say that also really life abroad is not well? Definitely you too also can share your opinions with us, but really I must say Mr. Saul Ryan Aliguma, chairman of Ugandan community that is in Qatar, said this was among several proposals presented to the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, that's Miss Betty Amongi, during a meeting that was in Doha, that was also there on April 2nd this year. And among the proposals is that the establishment of a business hub that is in Doha in bid to promote that is trade and investment between the two countries. And the meeting was chaired by Ugandan ambassador to Qatar, that is Stephen Chebrot Kemoiko, already where we did see this plea being made there. And Minister Amongi was in Doha, where she signed a bilateral labor agreement that's between Qatar also and Uganda to ensure migrant workers are safe and their rights are also really protected, because they realize that a lot of our migrant workers are really going through a lot, and this could also be also as a result of the lack of also MOU that was signed between the two countries. And I believe now with the MOU that is being signed, we are going to be witnessing maybe also really the rights of the citizens who are living in Qatar being protected there. And in a bid to promote that is also really trade and business between the two countries, there was a proposal between various business ventures such as establishment of a business hub, a hypermarket and a supermarket, that is also to promote that is the business between the two countries there, and to address the challenges in passport renewal and issuance of national IDs. And UGA COQ proposed the establishment that's of a Qatar-based printing center and leveraging the Ugandan embassy in the UAE. And Minister Amongi expressed that gratitude for the dialogue and assured the community of a comprehensive report will be presented to the president. And they realize that more than 25,000 Ugandans are living in Qatar, and really once they start asking for the PDM money, don't you ask yourselves questions of what is happening maybe abroad? And you who is planning to leave the country are thinking that you are going to be finding greener pastures, also really be worried there. That is also something I must say we need to also ask ourselves as the viewer, maybe as somebody who is watching us right now, also really to also ensure that we talk about. And now moving away from that, let's maybe also as we head towards the end of the program, now let's do some bit of sports here and there, where we did witness a number of games also already going on. And really we did also already see the game between Pakwachi Young Stars and by the Black Angels already ending prematurely there. And I must say the Aluruland Derby also didn't get maybe to the final whistle, and as the game was also really in the final stages in the extra time, the game was also really brought down after fans of both sides also stormed the field there. Also, that is also something we did see happening in there, and really the game also ended that is in a goalless draw, in a draw there, and that means that really that game couldn't also really end in the 90 minutes. And really we are seeing the regional league also really getting interesting. And I must say the regional game is actually getting interesting and really also really very, very much anticipated and highly competitive there, because they realized also on the other side, this was the Nyagat group, and if you move to also the other group of the Nile group, you will realize that a lot of also issues that we are also going on, and Araka on the other hand is also really proving a point, and we are going to be seeing these two teams maybe also really clashing, that is at the maybe also really at the zone of qualifiers there. And really I must say we would also really want to see these games also really, maybe these teams also compete, that is to represent West Nile in the FIFA Big League next season. And this is where the competitiveness of the game is actually coming on, because the difference also really between Paida Youngsters, maybe Pakwachi Youngsters and Paida Black Angels could be very, very much minimal there. That means that all the teams want to see to that they represent West Nile sub-region at the FIFA Big League next season. And the Raka did also win their game over the weekend on the other side, and really I must say their games are getting very, very much interesting. And stay tuned, that is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Owen Zaga, Linda Susie will be giving you more details of what transpired in the regional league. That will be later on, that is in the due course of the day. That's from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And remember, as we bounce back from the weekend, a number of games also already did go on there. And somebody would be asking maybe the regional games on the Paraka Football Club. The Giants of West Nile also already did go on to beat, that is also one of the teams in Anaka. And this was 2 goals to 1. And really I must say Young Elephants, also the Elephant had fallen yesterday, that is to the hands of the Caterpillars. And really I must say that is also really something that also really made people of maybe the fans of the Paraka Football Club very, very much proud. And really this Northern Derby also really did go on there, and this was in Anaka, where also really we did see the game also really falling in there after Young Elephants, one of the teams that is representing at the FIFA Big League, also really falling into the hands of the Caterpillars, and that game ended, that is 2-1 in favor of the FIFA Big League side. And I must say the rain almost also really spoiled the game. We did witness also really heavy rains also really going on there, but I must say the game ended in the full 90 minutes also really to see to that the Caterpillars also really picked that crucial away win there. And other games also really played, that was also really over the weekend also we did see Lugazi also really beating Calvary. Also really those are the games also really we did see happening in there. And I must say so many games also did also go on, and really where we did see Lugazi playing also to a 1-1 draw, that was with Black's Power. Also really sorry about that. Also really we did see Lugazi beating, also playing a 1-1 draw, that is with Black's Power. Boma also did go on to beat Calvary, that was a 0-0, and Chiinda North also did go on, that is to beat Ginger North by a 0-0 there, as well as we did also see Chigeze home boys are playing to a goalless draw, that is with Kataka Football Club there. And really that means that we are still seeing Police being on the lead of the log. Lugazi comes in second as Mbale Heroes drops in the 3rd place there, and that is also really something we are seeing happening. And that means that these 3 teams could be able to also really represent, that is the sometimes Uganda Premier League next season, if at all they maintain the momentum. And that is also really something that we could also really see happening in there. And in the English Premier League, Chelsea also really played 2-2 also really in there. And really somebody could be asking maybe what happened. And really I must say the games also really did go on after Liverpool also really played to a 2-2 draw. That is between also really with Liverpool there. And that means that Arsenal, the Elephants, also really bounced back on top of the league, that is just by goal difference. And that means that really we are still seeing the English Premier League getting competitive, and that means that anybody can still win the league. And that is also really something we must also remind you as the viewer of the show of, because a number of games we have played even right from Saturday. And I must say also somebody could be maybe interested in the games that could have happened, that is on Saturday. You will realize that Man City also did beat, that is Crystal Palace 4-2, as Aston Villa played stayed 3-3 with Brentford, as Everton also really beat also Burnley by a goal to nil. Fulham also really lost, that is to Newcastle by a goal to nil there, as Luton Town did beat, that is also Bournemouth by 2-1. Wolves also lost to West Ham, but that is by 2-1 there, as Arsenal was able to also really beat Brighton by 3-0 there, and that is also really something we did see happening on Saturday, and that means Arsenal is back on top of the log, and this log keeps on changing. And really, how shall we also really maybe see the log remain permanent? That is really something that we are still seeing, or that is in the world of the English Premier League. And I believe you also now knows that maybe which team could be able to win the league at the end of the season, because that is something which so many people are maybe also really following up on. And Chelsea also really surprised so many people. Manchester United played 2-2, as Sheffield United also really drew with Chelsea there. And Nottingham Forest also lost to the Tottenham Hotspur by 3-1, and really that is also really what summarizes our discussions for today. And we shall be able to keep you more of what is happening in the world of sports. That will be able to also come through the whistle time from the hour of 2 to 3 p.m. Owen Ezaga and Linda Suzy will be able to come through, and later on also Benson Pastore will be able to also give you more of the details that is in the news, that is of the Nalika Sports News, that is from 7 p.m. together with Okumuringa Christine. And really that brings us to the end of the show, and really I want to thank whoever watched us right from the time we began until this hour in the morning. We say it's a great pleasure always having you on board with us, and really that is also really something we do very, very much appreciate you for. And with this we come to the end of the discussions. The first one for this week, it is a Monday, and really those who are still home, maybe who haven't gone to also really go start hustling for the daily needs, you need to also ensure that you leave home now, you move to your various hustling centers, so that also really you get something small that would also really greatly have an impact on your families. And really that is what brings us to the end of the show. And up next is the news bulletin in Lubarati. That's with my brother Mukulia Lawrence, whom I can see is already in the kitchen cooking what to also really give also really to you as the viewer. And really with that, we come to the end of the discussions. Up next is the news bulletin in Lubarati. Stay tuned.